G'day, Tony from Echo.Guru here. I often get emails from readers and members of the Echo.Guru community asking what's involved with working in the UK as a sonographer. I've put all those questions together and tonight I'm talking with Luke Corley from Globe Locums. Luke is based in London and he's responsible for finding many positions for friends of mine who've gone over from Australia over to the UK. Hopefully you find it useful and get all your questions answered through there. Enjoy.
Mate, thanks again for joining us today. I get a lot of questions from the viewers and readers on Echo.Guru about working in the UK. I guess a good starting point would be just if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and about what Globe does and how they fit into the overall picture.
Yeah. So thanks for having the chat with me, Tony. This is going to be beneficial, I think, for both of us. So basically, Globe was started. One of the directors who started it was actually trained cardiac physiologist himself. So he has quite good contacts, and he's kind of built the business on that with a mate of his who's a recruiter. So they started a few years ago now, and it's just rapidly expanding all over the UK and Ireland. It's a very good market, locum and permanent wise. As everyone probably knows, they're quite rare to come across cardiac physiologists and sonographers worldwide, really. So there's always plenty of the market's quite strong for those people, no matter where you want to be placed. So basically, myself, I am a radiation therapist. I trained at QUT in Brisbane. I've worked in London around the UK, not just London, for a couple of years doing the 2-year visa. So there was a bit of work, a bit of holiday in there. And then obviously I came back maybe about 9 months ago and crossed over to the recruitment area, and I'm doing a master's study at one of the universities here as well. So that's basically the background.
So there's heaps of work over there. Why would we use a locum agency rather than trying to just source the job ourselves or find a job ourselves?
So basically, the hospital's first point of call, whether it's private, public clinics, they'll come straight to the locum agencies because they know we've got the database, we've got access to the people on both sides, we've got access to candidates, and then access to the clients. So candidates will come to us and the clients will come to us, whether it's just the mediary in between. And with different kind of frameworks and rules, that there are strict rules working in healthcare, as everyone can probably understand. So our job is to get people compliant, which includes the immunization, police checks, all that kind of thing. So it's not possible just to turn up somewhere and just go, can you give me a job? Unless it was, so that's about all. That's what our job, we're kind of the middle person to find people jobs, and we make the process quite smooth.
And so do the applicants pay you directly, or does that come off their hourly rate each hour, or how does that all work?
The way it works is depending on where you work and how much experience you have, will depend on kind of the rate you can be paid. The rate that's quoted is what you'll get paid. Obviously, that's a gross wage, and you'll get taxed on that as per normal. But the agency earns their money because they get paid a small margin on top of your rate, and that's paid by the hospital or the clinic or whoever you may be working for. So there's no cuts on your pay from there.
Okay, wonderful. And so you go through an interview process, or is the interview held with Globe, or does the interview process happen with the individual practice or the position that you're applying for?
For locum work, standardly, the CVs will just be sent, as we're the middle person. We have quite good relationships as an agency, as all the consultancy have quite good relationships with the candidates that we talk a lot. I would never call it an interview. It's more just talking about availability and general vacancy availability. So then on the other side, we'll pass your CV on to the clients that we have. They generally just review your CV. Sometimes they may want to chat on the phone, but it is a very casual chat generally. So there's no long. They're quite short turnarounds for the locum placements. The permanent ones are just a normal permanent job. You would need to do interviews and that kind of thing, but that's a different story.
Great. And so are they mainly full-time, part-time, or short contracts? Like you said, there's lots of work out there. Is there a bit of work for whichever way you want to go, or is it more geared
Yeah.
towards the locum that's available?
So there is, as I said before, the market is needing quite a lot of locum workers in there. So they tend to be ongoing roles, which is nice. So if you're coming across on a 2-year visa, which quite a high number of people do, they tend to be quite flexible as well. And being a contract worker, you don't have any kind of ties to the job. You've only got to give a couple of weeks' notice if you want to leave. Maybe you want to check out another city or something, and that's quite easy. And then if you want to go on a holiday, a lot of the time the clients are quite happy to and understanding. You know that they know you're here for a holiday as much as to work and earn a little bit of money. So they're usually quite understanding. Friends of mine, as you said, and yours too, Tony, that I've placed here, they seem to come back to their jobs quite easily.
So they can do a fair bit of holidaying, travel around, and end up back in the same spot, assuming that everything's working out well.
At the end of the day, that's what we're here for.
Excellent. Excellent. Do they get paid per scan, or do you get paid per hour or per contract? How does the payments work?
It'll be an hourly pay. So, you just turn up for work, you get paid for that. There's no sick days or holiday pay. That's all included in the hourly rate. So it is quite a high hourly rate in comparison to the permanent staff. So it's quite attractive and should be able to live quite comfortably.
Nice. And how many scans would you be expected to do in the day for that hourly rate?
So the cardiac related cases, they tend to do 10 to 12 a day, which give you about 30-45 minutes per case. And then the sonography, just general sonography, is about 20 minutes to scan and report on those patients.
Sure. Just focusing on the cardiac side of things, would they then have to do a report within that time, or is there variability into the amount of reporting that would need to be done as part of that position?
It would depend on the hospital and what's required, but that would be all covered before going in. I generally find people coming over from Australia and New Zealand are very well qualified to do the work in the time frame permitted.
So if they're ASAR accredited, will they need to do any additional studies or exams or meet any other requirements?
No, that's it's fully transferable. The only additional things is just the general manual handling and CPR, which everyone loves doing. That's just a few hours. And then, that's the compliance that's needed on top of your immunisation and all the rest of the visa stuff.
I'm just looking at my list here of questions that have been sent to me, just so I'll make sure I don't forget anything. And so part of the setup will be to get set up with bank accounts, tax file numbers, or whatever the UK equivalent of a tax file number is. You mentioned about setting up the CPR courses and manual handling and stuff. Globe takes care of all of that, or the locum agency would take care of all of that? Yeah,
we do. So it's nice to get in touch with people as early as possible when you're still kind of on the ground in your home country before you come over. And then we can help you with whatever direction you want to do. And we're here, as I said, I've done the whole thing, the step-by-step in radiation therapy myself. All the consultants have, they've got a lot of experience dealing with people coming overseas. So any questions, we'll be able to help you out every step of the way. Bank accounts and the tax file number is a national insurance number here. That you have to set up your own bank account, but we can tell you where to go, the good banks to go with. And it's a pretty smooth process.
Okay, you've kind of covered this, but maybe if you could just expand on it a little bit more, Luke. Are there any legal hurdles to deal with working in the UK? How long can I come along for? That type of question.
So, depending on what visa you've got, the popular one is that Tier 5 Youth Mobility Visa, which gives you 2 years in the UK. So you can come and go as often as you like. to live here, and you can work as
Do you
much.
have to be? Sorry, Luke. Do you have to be under a certain age for that?
Yes, sorry, you do have to be under 31. So the way it happens is you'll apply for your visa, you'll get granted your visa, but the coming over to the UK, it's not actually approved until you land in the country. So you have to be under the age of 31 to get in and kind of get all the process underway. If maybe you wanted to, you were hoping to come a bit later after you were 31, if that deadline was kind of coming soon, you can always make a trip to the UK, obviously money depending, and then go home. Just kind of starts the process, and then you can come whenever you want after that.
Any advice working in London versus working outside of London in other parts of the UK?
London is a great city to live. A lot of people want to work in London, which is fair enough, but there's so many different cities that are very they're great experiences. There's nice cities like Bristol and Bath that people have heard of. They want to live there. They're just as fantastic as living in London. So you meet many different cultures. There's so many people here. It's incredible. At Manchester, place is easy to get to. Good for a party, good for the history. So I definitely recommend getting out. I did myself. I got out of London for a bit and experience. You go travel around, see the scenery, get up to Scotland. It's all quite easy and quite enjoyable. Definitely a good experience.
It sounds fantastic. It sounds a really good time. Thank you very much. I won't take up any more of your time tonight. Well, it's nighttime in Sunshine Coast, daytime in the UK at the moment. This has been really helpful, and hopefully the readers get a bit of a heads up about how it all works going to the UK. If people want to get hold of you, Globe Locums is probably the best way to find you. Do you have a email address or a website or something you want to direct people to?
Yeah, definitely. The Globe Locums website is, if you just globelocums.co.uk, or you can email me. My email, and I can tell you, maybe expand on something if you wanted a few extra questions. My email is Luke, Luke, at globelocums.co.uk. Otherwise, yeah, you can email the normal sales team, which is salesteam@globelocums.co.uk, and that'll kind of go to everyone in the company. So, and someone will pick it up and get back to you very quickly.
Thank you again for the time, Luke. It's been really informative and helpful to the readers.
Okay, thanks for the chat.
So plenty of great advice there for working over in the UK. Make sure you get on top of things early, sort out your visas, try and put your name out as many places as you can. Using a locum agency such as Globe Locums makes life a lot easier and helps get that process happening a lot faster. Certainly not the only way, but it's an easier way of doing things. If you like this video or you found it useful, make sure you press the like button on YouTube and share with all your friends. Enjoy.